to the scene setting. The night has not arrived, but dusk is imminent. The fireball in the sky is not large or even noticeable in the area of July Founder's Swamp, the swampy area that is frequented by a specific bird called the honey creeper. July Founder is rural and almost voided of human contact. The only community nearby is Julyville, a small town of about 600 people. Dixon July, the descendant of the founder of Julyville, Oliver July, continues the family business studying the rich land that is July Founder County. Dixon July is a terrestrial ecologist. He has been conducting the research of his family and founded a company that was first started by Oliver July in 1705. Oliver found the land that is now called July Founder County in 1705. Okay, Act 1, Scene 1. Exterior, dusk. Dixon July is standing by the marsh in Dreary Nook, a body of water on the south side of July Founder Swamp. Dixon. I don't think the soil is having any unusual reactions to foreign substances. The human element has not infected the land to this point. The soil is healthy, and there are plenty of various wildlife that frequent the area. Natalie. I have collected the soil from the upland terrestrial area of soil. The land is healthy, and no contamination is obvious. Dixon and Natalie walk back to their truck. They drive away, and after they are out of view, a strange darkness, a shadow appears of the area they had just examined. The fireball appears and lands in the very location where the scientists were studying the soil. The, space rock seeps into the soft land. End scene. Scene 2. Exterior, nighttime. Strange organism exits the rock that is half in the soil. The organism enters the soil after exiting the rock. The organism runs through the soil and then stops. The organism begins to generate a root system, and finally a flower appears above the soil. The flower looks exactly like a honey flower, orange petals with a brown center. The stem is dark green, almost brown. The flower begins to attract birds and insects, but they suddenly appear hesitant and exit the area after they initially approach. Only one bird will approach the honey creeper. The honey creeper. The honey creeper begins to take nectar from the honey flower, and then flies away. End scene. Scene 3. Exterior nighttime. Honey creepers is flying toward Julyville. The honey creeper bird flies up to the July Street, the main street in the town. The bird lands on a tree limb when it suddenly begins to grow in size. People of the town are now screaming as the bird has grown to be 200 feet high. The bird eats a couple that are running away from it. The crowd disperses and the bird lands on a large rock structure to fall asleep. Time passes and the sunrise approaches. End scene. Scene 4. Interior, morning, July Ecologist Lab, LLC. Rural area near the July Founder Swamp. Dixon, I am glad that we can study this great area in such a healthy ecosystem. I can't remember when this area has had a disruption to the ecosystem. Activity while speaking does not matter. You can be eating food or feeding your pet. Natalie, I am glad you have the greatest job in the world and you are allowing me to work for you. The voice of Peck Jones interrupts the streaming app radio show to deliver breaking news. Peck Jones, news broadcaster. I am speaking live from the safety of a secret location. The people of Julyville are in grave danger. The giant bird monster has begun terrorizing the great town with no ecological anomalies since its discovery in 1705. Well, that first anomaly is a doozy. This giant bird that is 200 feet high is flying around scaring everyone and eating two people. Dixon, well, I guess I better go and find out why a 200-foot bird is flying around town. Natalie, I am ready to blow this thing away. Dixon and Natalie run to the lab center and jump in the truck. Dixon drives to the truck away from the lab and toward the town. End scene. Scene 5, interior, morning. Dixon's truck is driving down the murky road. The road that leads to the lab. Dixon's truck follows murky road until it intersects with July Street. Overhead view of truck. Dixon. How did a giant bird suddenly appear in Julyville? Nicole. I can't explain it. The bird looks like a honey creeper. How did a bird not native to this region find its way to a small marshy town thousands of miles away from its natural habitat? Dixon. The honey creeper is native to Central and South America. They also live in Mexico, but they never make it up to this part of the world. Nicole, the internet claims that they have even gone to Florida at certain times, but they would not survive the cold temperatures that could occur in this region of the United States of America. The truck continues toward the center of town. End scene. Scene 6. Interior, morning. Dixon's truck. Dixon and Natalie sit in this truck as the honey creeper is sitting on a top of a large rock that stands towering over the town skyline. The rock is a mystery, but not the point of the movie. Dixon and Natalie discuss the bird on the rock. Dixon, how did this bird fly to our region of the country and then grow to be 200 feet tall? Natalie, I think the bird must have been in contact with a strange fungus. Dixon, what a fungus that what, a fungus that makes it grow to an enormous size? I think of any way that would be plausible. The fungus theory is the only way that would be explainable to these people. I would also expect that they would deem the region unlivable and they would drive as fast as possible to escape the area. Dixon, I agree. We should begin telling people to leave the region. Sheriff of July Founder County's truck drives up to Dixon's truck. Sheriff John July. Hey, Dixon, what stupid thing did you do to this dirt out here? Dixon says, I am the reason the giant bird is here. Sheriff July, explain what is this flower is. What this flower is. What? John July texts Dixon a picture. Dixon, I have never seen this flower. I recognize the area the flower is in. The flower has appeared in the last hour. Sheriff July, you mean this bird has flown here in the last hour? I know that flower and this bird is connected. I have a witness that says the bird sat on that flower for a few minutes and then flew away. Dixon, who is this witness? Sheriff July, Moxie Mills. Explains that she was sitting on her porch, when she saw a rock fly from the sky and land on the dirt area you two just left. The magnet you buried in the ground pulled the rock to Earth from outer space. 5 minutes later, a flower sprouted from the ground. That very bird flew up to the flower only 5 minutes after the flower sprouted and bloomed. The same bird then flew toward town and sat on a tree near the entrance to the town, where it then grew to the size it is now. Dixon, I know Moxie Mills is a tree camera network that you have on trees throughout the town. You saw all these on your camera, Sheriff July. Exactly. I have a video proof that you have summoned an alien spaceship. And the scout is now here to analyze the area for the real attack. Dixon. Well then I guess I will go back to the area where I buried the magnet. I will dig it up, and take it to the secret lair where I can keep it from anyone who wants to steal it. Natalie. Hey John, are you gonna stay out all night? Sheriff July. Hey Natalie, I'm not your husband at the moment. I'm not your husband at the moment. I'm the sheriff of this county. Natalie. I know, but you are really stupid. Why the hell would we have a magnet that can summon aliens? We would not need leave it in an area where the sheriff goes for recreational mud digging. I know this is what you are doing out there all the time. Sheriff July, I have a common I have a cannon, and this thing will destroy the bird at the exact moment. Turns to his deputy, Stuck Sampson. Hey, Stuck, let's activate the cannon and destroy the monster. Sam has activated it. Only need to let it warm up. Oh, I meant Stuck Sampson. I have activated it. Only need to let it warm up. The cannon warms up, then shoots a large missile at the bird. Stuck and John July both shout, Woohoo! Oh, woo-hoo! With enthusiasm. The missile explodes after hitting the bird. However, the bird is unfazed. The angry Avarian animal attacks the sheriff, deputy, and the ecologist. The four of them all begin driving their vehicles out of town, heading back into the July Founder swamp area. The bird follows them until it finally attacks the deputy's truck. The truck tips over, but Stuck Sampson is able to escape. The truck explodes and the cannon is destroyed. The explosion damages the sheriff's truck, and now both their vehicle are disabled. They are forced to jump into the ecologist's truck. Now all four are moving away from the bird as fast as possible. Finally, they find a cave that is hidden near an elevated area of land. Dixon parks the truck near the cave with all four getting out of the truck, looking at the sky for the location of the bird. End scene. Scene 7. Interior morning. Cave that Dixon, Natalie, John, and Stuck enter while waiting for the bird to fly away. Stuck. Well, I found some dried up animal carcass. I think it is a dead raccoon beaver hybrid. Who? Whoa! I can't wait to eat some strange animal I never tried. John, I will not eat hybrid animals. Those things are experiments created in a lab. Natalie, I don't understand. This cave does not look normal. I'm confident that the entire structure is man made. Dixon, Natalie, you are so intelligent. Great observation. This is not a cave, but a bunker built by Otis Marcus, the scientist who has been demanding nature to conform to the progressing evolution of the changing ecosystem. Stuck. Who the hell is Otis Marcus? John, I worked with Otis in the military war 10 years ago. He was the only soldier to kill off the enemy with 100% accuracy. Stuck. You talk like the guy. You guys fight for life and death. The military is just a video game battle nowadays. Natalie, I'm sure wish we had true trained soldiers with artillery that know how to destroy the monster in the sky. Dixon, they would run a walking missile bot or one of those cannons that I used earlier to kill it. No need for trained soldiers anymore. Natalie, I don't know you completely messed up with shooting that cannon at the bird. John, I think that bird can withstand far more than what that cannon or any other military artillery can shoot at. The four of them sit in the corner. Four of them sit in the corner of the man-made structure waiting, wondering what to do next. End scene, scene 8. Interior, daytime, mid-morning. Dixon, Natalie, John, and Stuck sitting on the floor of the cave, searching for a solution to the giant red-legged honey creeper. Natalie, I know the red-legged honey creeper do not typically live in this part of the country. Dixon, the bird was drawn here. It was isolated to the specific bird. Something in the soil around the swamp enticed the bird to fly to this location. Silhouette. This bird was not drawn to the swamp. This bird was manipulating the meteorite that was in space to land in the swamp. The four people sitting on the floor look in the direction of the silhouette. They're all terrified at who this stranger may be. They all keep it together, not hysterical, but they are all frightened. Dixon. Hello, I'm going to apologize if we intruded on your property. Silhouette. No, I am happy to help you hide from the honey creeper. Natalie. What is your name? John. Yeah, I demand you to present yourself now. Stuck. John, you are a wimp. Natalie had to ask the stranger's name before you could think it up. Hesitation will be your downfall. John. Shut up. Stuck, you smell like crap every day because all you do is roll around in it. I mean, with Holly Mars. Stuck stands firm in front of John, ready for a fight. I will end your day before any creeper can eat you. Silhouette. My name is Otis Marcus. I built this structure and have been living in it since my house burned down 2 weeks ago. The five people now sit and wait calmly, hoping to find some inspiration of what they should do. Now that they know the honey creeper is not a bird, but a being that can summon space rocks to Earth. End scene. Scene 9. Interior, noon, underground bunker cave. Otis, Dixon, Natalie, John, and Stuck are all left with an uncertain feeling. They know that they have to find a way to stop this bird unidentifiable being from destroying the planet. Stuck. I'm scared of that monster outside. Otis. I am glad to meet some people who understand that the monster outside is not an irrelevant factor to the continued existence of our society. Dixon. I wonder why the red-legged honey creeper would come to this part of the country. They usually only stay in South America, Central America, and may venture into Key West on occasion. Natalie. They also will go to Mexico as well. John. I don't give a total potato for what the bird is not following its migration pattern. Why is the bird 200 feet tall? Natalie, I understand that if any animal grew to be that large, then the body elements that make it up would not be able to support the size difference. I can only imagine the being this is only using the honey creeper for physical appearance, but in reality, it is a completely different living organism. Otis, I already told you before that the honey creeper is a living organism. Is a living organism called the called called a meteorite from space to land in the swamp called July Founder Swamp. The organism used a location precision coordinator to have the rock land in the very spot where it is resting this very moment. Dixon, Otis, Marcus, you are a crazy person who built a large concrete structure underground. I don't think anyone will believe you even if you are telling the truth verbatim. We need to find an explanation that will be plausible, keep us safe, and eliminate the issue. End scene, scene 10. Interior, afternoon, Otis Market's bunker slash cave. The group are sitting around an hour later wondering what they should do. Otis is angry because he is ready to tell them what they should do, but they do not believe he is sane. Dixon, I think the only option is to shoot this serum I created in the lab at the bird. Maybe it will make it lose consciousness and we can kill it after it is asleep. Otis, no, the chemicals created on this planet will not kill it. All elements that exist on this planet will help it thrive. You must extract the nectar from the honey flower that the honey creeper used to grow to this size. Shoot a bullet at the eye of the honey creeper that is made of the nectar. The bird will return to the original form of the being and reduce its size to my height. John, I will do it, speaking to Otis. Dixon, John, do not exit the bunker. The honey creeper will eat you. John ignores Dixon and exits the cave. Otis, Dixon, Natalie, and Stucker all follow because they do not want John to die. End scene, scene 11. Exterior, afternoon. The five members drive back to July Founder Swamp. Dixon, this is the rock. John, this is the object Millie Moxie was talking about. Okay. Stuck, I will get some dynamite and we can make it explode. Natalie, how do you possess dynamite? How did you get? I bought it from Hank Kane. Natalie, Hank Kane sells fireworks, not dynamite. Stuck, holding a flare for a flare gun. I think I have dynamite in my hand. Natalie, this is not dynamite, that's a flare for a flare gun. Stuck and Natalie run to find a flare gun. Otis, Dixon, John look at the giant rock in the swamp. End scene. Exterior 12. Scene 12. Exterior, daytime, mid afternoon. Swamp landscapes around the three observers. Otis. I know that large rock landed on the outskirts of Julyville and is the spaceship the honey creeper exited from after arriving on Earth. Dixon. This means the giant rock that is standing 20 miles outside of Julyville is a spaceship? John, I think I need to file a report to have that thing impounded. Otis, I will need to know the nectar that comes from the honey flower. I will be able to create a chemical that will force the bird to return to normal, and the honey creeper will have to reveal its true form. Dixon, great. What do you need from the flower? How can the creation of the chemical be sped up? Otis grabs a leaf from the honey flower. I only need this leaf petal. The three men return to the truck. Stuck and Natalie also return to the truck with a flare gun. End scene. Scene 13. Interior. Truck driven with five people sitting in the cab toward the bunker on vertical road. Dixon. Hey, we are all white people who have found a strange alien aircraft in the swamp. Natalie. How is this going to be explained to the rest of society? John. I know. I need to melt that rock down. I don't know any other way to impound that aircraft. Stuck. I'm ready to shoot the flare at this giant bird when it returns to attack us. Otis. I'm not going to lie. The flare gun will not hurt the bird. The only reason I say this statement, that bird is not an actual bird, but an alien that was flying around as a red-legged honey creeper, a bird native to South America, South America, Mexico, Central America, and North America. The alien copied the bird's body and metamorphosized into a visual replica, but in reality is not going to be hurt by any malice method of impairment that is available to the human race. Stuck. Hey, I know that my explosive artillery can destroy anything I shoot at it. This flare gun will make the monster bird disappear in a matter of seconds. Natalie, why are we returning to the bunker, Dixon? Why are we returning to the bunker, Dixon? Otis, I'm going to need to work for a few hours alone. Go buy some food at the local Matt's Food Quick. It is over there on the corner of Angle Street and Vertical Road. Group agree to buy food. Otis exits the truck and enters the bunker. Dixon drives to the truck drives the truck to the Matt's Food Quick. Four of them exit the truck and enter the fast food establishment. End scene. Scene 14. Interior Matt's Food Quick. Dixon, Natalie, John, and Stuck sit down at a booth. Matt, the owner of the Food Quick, approaches the table. Matt Food. Hello, Dixon, Natalie, John, and Stuck. Why are you eating in this place? Dixon. Why are you taking the order at your own restaurant? Matt. I have always taken the order, and then I make the food on this flat grill in front of you. Natalie. I want a boiled platter. John. I expect you have an updated license for this table grill. Stuck. I will shoot this table with a I will shoot this table with a flare gun. Matt. Hold frame of updated permit. Holds frame of updated permit. I am holding it, and it is always located at this very spot, anytime someone wants to examine it. I hope no one sues me. Laughs the way a normal person laughs. Dixon. I am curious, Matt. How long have you been running this food establishment? Matt. I have owned this business since I inherited it from my father, Joe, in 1976. I am 65 years old. John, you mean you inherited this restaurant when you were 16 years old? Natalie, wow, are you a very accomplished person, Matt? Stuck, I could eat all the food that you have in this place in an hour. Matt, my mom ran it when my dad decided to make me the owner on all the paperwork. My dad would work the kitchen until 1999. Now he was working the register. He's 88 years old. My mom is 87 years old and works the inventory management. Dixon, well, that is great. Can we have the hamburgers and fried potato sticks? Natalie, Dixon, the food has been sitting in front of you for 5 minutes. Okay. The group eat the food and then exit Matt's Food Quick 2 hours after they arrive. Dusk is an hour away. The four of them climb back into the truck and drive to the bunker. End scene. Scene 15. Interior, late afternoon, an hour away from dusk. Truck with all four of the people sitting in the truck. Dixon drives away from the Food Quick but stops the truck. Dixon, I'm going to wait a second. Dixon looks into the Food Quick from the truck. He is quiet for a few minutes. He begins to speak after confirming his suspicion. Continued. Dixon, I knew Matt was acting different. That must be the alien. I can see 3 people tied up in the back of the store near the dumpster. Matt is walking around the store alone. Stuck. I have a better weapon than a flare gun. I'm going to shoot him with a Magnum 500 I found in the Food Quick. John, you found a random Magnum 500 in the food. I'm going to need to increase the amount of weapon inspection around this county. Natalie, I guess someone will need to distract the alien while the others go and save Matt and his parents. Dixon, hey, Stuck. Hey, Stuck, go and shout at that alien for 10 minutes while we picked up these imprisoned people. Stuck, yes! I'm going to tell him how bad he smells and why his favorite sports team is shit. Stuck runs into the front of the restaurant and begins shouting at the alien. He says a lot of random statements that keeps the alien from focusing on the truck driving behind the store. Dixon, Matt, Joe, and Heather jump in the truck. The 3 are tied up, so John and Natalie untie them. The 5 all jump in the truck and Dixon drives away. Stuck. Stuck hears the truck drive away from the restaurant. Okay, I am bored talking to you. Stuck leaves the restaurant and walks down the road until out of sight of the restaurant. Dixon and the others are waiting in the truck for Stuck to return. Stuck climbs into the truck and it drives to the bunker. End scene, scene 16, interior Otis Marcus's lab / bunker. Dusk has arrived. The group all stay inside the bunker. John. Matt, Joe, and Heather are now safe from the alien creature that is in control of the Matt's Food Quick. We need to begin creating the chemical that will force the alien back to the spaceship and off our planet. Stuck, no! I want to blow this thing up! I was standing in front of it, and I know I can eat that heart after it dies. Matt, that's the thing. That thing knows we are in this bunker. It is allowing us to stay in here. The creature can morph into any person, animal, organism, even an electron if it wants to. Dixon, the chemical will kill the creature? Natalie, I am glad that we were all not stuck with that thing in a tight place like this. Immediately, when Natalie speaks this statement, Matt, Joe, and Heather all morph into a giant grizzly bear. Otis, Marcus, I have the chemical pistol I have just created. The pistol is a replica of the Magnum 500 and just as powerful. Boom! The pistol is shot, and the bullet made out of the chemical explodes in the bear's face. The bear shrinks to the size of a penny. Continued. Otis Marcus. Hey, look! The bear is now the size of a penny and unconscious. I will put it in this hollow rock that is the size of a quarter. Otis closes the quarter-sized rock that is actually a container made by cold plastics. Dixon, Natalie, John, Stuck, and Otis all leave the bunker. Dixon, Natalie, John, and Stuck enter the truck and drive away. Otis drives to the swamp and finds the honey flower and puts it into his satchel that is holding the quarter-sized rock. Otis then collects the rock that landed in the swamp. Otis also drives to where the alien spaceship is located, shoots it, and it also shrinks to the size of a penny. Otis puts the penny-sized spaceship into the different quarter-sized rock. Otis then drives to the Highway 51 and drives north. North on Highway 51, an hour from Julyville, is where the factory for cold plastics is located. Otis secretly worked for cold plastics in the metamorphosizing creature was not an organism, but a toy that he invented. The end. Nobody in this story are real. This is a fictional story. Any similarities to real people is just a coincidence.